17th of December, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Shema or Shehari, and the worker went at his command, but found that the sick person had died or had become healthy, and so no longer needed the food. This is the law. The employer must pay the worker his full agreed upon fee. And so the Ark Scroll puts in this idea. We see that although the attempt to rescue the sick person came to naught, the messenger receives his full fee for the attempt. So too does the case of one who made an unsuccessful attempt to rescue the fellow's donkey. He should receive his full fee, namely compensation for the loss of his own donkey. And that's a question about that.
Okay, let's take a look at Rashi on the top of the page. A round of applause for Kuf Tes Zayin Ahmed Aleph. Hooray! Wow. Baruch Hashem.
Okay, so we're up to that word Darmiskani. What is Darmiskani? Prushim is a Lushan, the language of my father, whatever Prushim are. Lushan, my master, my teacher. Lushan Achad Adar Prufi. That's more Old French there. The Asaphi, it's an herb type thing. On Achal that's eaten, Besalka Kadero, when you cook it in a pot, soaking it in a pot.
Oh, I have a Loze Rashi that translates Perushim.
Yeah, Loze Rashi. Let's see the Loze Rashi.
Prunes.
Prunies.
It's
prunes,
give him.
Yeah.
Polumen. Oh, is a prune is a roasted plum? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then he translates the other French word. Adrofaish perush maluach ale siach.
Some kind of leaves.
Salted leaves. Ale siach. Okay. Okay, so he went to get some type of a medicinal thing for this person who was very sick, and the sender was to pay him for the journey, to the job of going and getting these things and then bringing them back, of course, so that they could use it for the cholet. So he went. The person went on the way in order to do that. Umotza shemes o shehiri. He went to bring it to him, but then they found that either that he didn't need it anymore. Either he got better or he got worse, and there was no that was it. So he didn't need the work that was done. He didn't need the guy to bring it, really. No saying lo schar b'shalem. He has to pay him his full schar, whether he needs it or not. Okay, so you think that's a very good comparison to the case of the rescuer of the donkey?
No.
The Gemora has a comment about that. But what is exactly the comparison? Let's try to figure out what exactly the comparison was. Why did the Gemora think that was a challenge to what Rebbe said altogether?
Well, there's some kind of concept of you got to pay whether you're successful or not. That's what we're trying to go on. The attempt is what he gets his fee, a fee, not the fee of the donkey or anything like that, but he has to get the fee of his effort, whatever his time was for doing
His
it.
effort. Okay.
His wages for that time that I was involved in the attempt. I mean, look, you do that. That happens here too. I don't want to, I'm not saying bad about other things here, but people go to various, doctors and help things, and they think they're going to get help, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But the person you say, well, I'm not going to pay you because it didn't work what you suggested me to do.
Okay, so in both cases, but I mean, it seems like there's a very big distinction. Maybe that's what the Gemora's answer is going to be. In other words, okay, let's see what the Gemora's answer is. Okay, in other words, you got to pay the guy because he tried to do what it is that you hired him to do. The rescuer of the donkey, he tried to rescue the donkey. Over here, that's why it doesn't work to me so well. The guy wasn't the guy is just a gopher. He just went to go to get these things to bring him to the sick guy. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He didn't fail in any way. They were supposed to use those things in order to heal the guy, but it wasn't shy. It wasn't relevant anymore. It was not possible. But his what was he paid? What was he paid for? He was paid to go and get the things and bring them, and he did exactly that. It's not exactly like the case of the donkey, but okay. Let's see what the Gemora answers. The Gemora's, in other words, yeah, the Gemora is going to answer this challenge. Amarle, Lou, you want to read?
Amarle, he said to him, Mi dame. Are they comparable?
Who say?
Hasam Abid Shaliach Shali who say there the agent fulfilled his mission. Hacha lo avid shaliach shelichu say. Here, the agent did not fulfill his mission. In other words, just like you just said, Rabbi, in the case of the donkey, the rescuer failed. He didn't rescue the donkey. But in the case of the one who gets the prunes, he succeeded. The donkey case, the reason that there's a failure is because the shliach didn't get the donkey. In the case of the prunes, the reason it failed is because the situation changed and they weren't needed anymore. So they're not comparable.
Right.
Tana Rabbanan, the rabbis taught in a brisa, She Yara She Haisa Me Ha Leches Ba Midbar. let's see, a caravan that was traveling in the wilderness. Va'amed aleha goyis litorfa. And there came upon it a troop to plunder it. Mechashvin lefi mamon. They calculated in accordance with the money. Ve'ein mechashvin lefi nifashos. They do not calculate by the people. Ve'im sachru tayar v'holech lifnehem. And if they hired a guide to travel before them,
Excuse me.
mechashvin af lefi nefashos. They calculate by the people as well. So there's a lot of English commentary that I didn't read. Should I read it, or you want to wait for the Rashi?
No, I would rather just translate what we have over here clearly, so we know clearly what the Gemora is saying, and then we could think it out, think it through for ourselves. So
okay,
we got a case over here that you have you have a caravan that's traveling in the midbar, and they get held up by a guys, and they want to right. What do they want? Your money or your life, right? So, so the words of the Brisa don't say anything, but what we understand from the story is that the people in the caravan approached the guys that wanted to hold them up and plunder them, and said, "Listen, how about if we give you, 10,000? Is that good enough for you?" They say, "No, we want more than that." "Okay, how much do you want?" "We want 20,000." "Okay, so we make a deal. Fine, whatever it is, 20,000. So now they got a figure of 20,000. They got to give these hoodlums, these guys, not such nice guys. So the question is, if you got 10 people in this caravan, how are they going to split up this? They got to all participate in paying out to get to this amount that they agreed. So how do they do it? Mechashvin lefi mamon, ve'ein mechashvin lefi nefashos. They make the calculation how much each guy has to pay to the guys based upon the lefi mamon, according to the money. Ve'ein mechashvin lefi nefashos, but not according to the nefashos, not according, I guess, to the number of people. Everybody pays equally. That's the first din, and the next din is im sachro tayar. But if this caravan, they hired a guy to take them, through the midbar. So right, so he's a bit responsible over here. So what's the din in that case? A holik lifneim, it goes in front of them. In that case, they're going to all pay according to nefashos. Below yeshanu miminag achamarin, and they don't change. We don't change amongst the accepted custom of doing things with donkey drivers. Okay, so that's the translation. What do we have in terms of Rashi to be able to figure this out? What is it? In other words, what do we want to know over here? What does it really mean, lefi mammon? What does it really mean, lefi nefashos?
Right.
And we're saying that if they did not hire anybody to take them through the midbar, so then the din is that they pay according to mammon and not according to nefashos. But if they did hire somebody to take them through the midbar, so then they pay according to nefashos, not according to mammon. So we got to know what's mammon, what's nefashos, and why the fact that they hired somebody to take them through the midbar, what's that have to do with it? Why does that change the din? Okay. Okay, so we have a couple Rashis over here. We start with Rashi Latorfa.
The Torfa.
What did these guys want to do over here?
Buzzes out, to plunder, to take booty of things.
Right?
The neat pasru imahem b'monam, and they do something in the money. They divide up among them. Neat pasru.
Okay, so what's this word? This pashru. What's the three-letter shorish? Pei, shin, resh.
Yeah.
What's pei, shin, resh? A pshura, a compromise. Let's make a deal. So what's the deal? The deal is what they got to agree on a price with this guys. So Rashi says this pashu imahim b'mammon. They came to a compromise agreement between them that they won't kill them, and they'll give them a certain amount of money. Let's say it's 20,000. Now Rashi doesn't tell us what mammon is, and he doesn't tell us what nefashos is. Next Rashi is tayar. That we can figure out for ourselves.
A tayar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have a lefina shot and the nefashos coming up.
Okay, maybe that'll be enough.
What is the tayar? Tayar is a tourist type thing.
What's Rashi say it is?
Maralahem tayar is mehaladera, that shows him the way. Basically, it's the guide.
Right. So he's the guy that they hire in order to take them through the midbar. So what's yeah?
And it depends how you pay him. Do you pay the guy? Is he retired just to pay the monetary fee, or is he paid a per head fee? After fee, the show depends how many people there are. If he makes if shata'ud b'derech the midbar, mistake in the desert, sakana hanafa. It's a matter of life and death. It's a danger. I mean, the art scroll thing, it depends how many people. The more people he is, it affects this is kind of the precious affects how he, the amount he has to do for another people.
Shatu taderech b'midbar shkonas nefashasi. Af lefi nefashos. Okay, so this is very strange what Rashi's saying over here. I'm not sure. I don't understand why Rashi's saying it, but let's just try to work it out based upon what Rashi is saying. If you have a guide, then the Brisa says Aholech lifneim. He goes before them to lead them. V'chashvin af lefi nefashos. Then you make the calculation according to nefashos. Now, which calculation are we talking about in the Brisa? Which calculation are we talking about that we're going to make according to nefashos or according to mammon? That's another question over here. I thought that I thought the first time we said lefi mammon the machashbin lefi mammon was how are we going to figure out how we're going to come up with this 20,000 to give to these bandits over here? We go according to the mammon and we don't go according to nefashos. And then the Brisa says, and if we hired a guide to go before them, so then it's the fin nefashos. Is that the same cheshbon? Is that the same payment? Maybe that's the payment to the guide. I don't understand. The whole Rashi says af lefi nefashos. Shetos haderech b'midbar sekonos nefashos he. Rashi's explaining why it is. That's what Rashi's doing. Rashi's explaining that, look, the first thing the Brisa said is that the payment to the bandits is going to go lefi mammon, it's not going to go lefi nefashos. But if they hired a tayar, a guide who's got a job to lead them through the midbar and not get lost, he's got a job to do. So then the obligation to pay these bandits seems to change. Then we go according to nefashos. Mechashvin af lefi nefashos. Now that word af is oh boy. Is that talking about the what you pay the bandits? Or is it talking now about the tayar? Af sounds like even that payment is going to be made according to nefashos. Not only the payment to the bandits, but the payment to the tayar is also going to be lefi nefashos. And Rashi is giving us a reason why it is that we won't do the same din that we did without a guide. Without a guide, you don't have a guide to pay, first of all, and second of all, you're going to pay to the gaius according to the mammon, but not according to the nefashos.
Rabbi Levitt,
now Rashi is explaining why when you have a guide that the payment to be made, or the payments to be made, there's two payments now to be made, not going to go according to the mammon, it's going to go according to nefashos. And Rashi explains why is that? Because if the guide makes a mistake in the midbar, right? Let's say he's got to take them through the midbar, and he makes a mistake, and now they're who knows where they are? They don't know where they are. That's a real problem. They might not ever make it out of the midbar in order to pay him anything. So even if they do, so then that's that's a critical mistake that this guy made. He puts him in a state of kanas nefashos, says Rashi. Very nice. That's all well and good. It's true. We understand it. But what does that have to do with saying that the payment to the bandits and to the what's his name, the guide, is going to be lefi nefashos? Not understandable at all on the face of it. Okay, so what should we do? Let's say we give up and listen to what the art scroll had to teach us over here. I have no idea from reading the Rashi what's Rashi answering us to explain this case.
It's still going to be confusing, but let me read it. A troop came against it to plunder it, but was persuaded to accept a ransom instead.
Yeah.
They calculate the members' contributions to the ransom payment by the amount of money they are carrying. They do not calculate it by the amount of people in the caravan. Since the threat was to their money, each pays according to the amount he carries. And if the members of the caravan hired a guide to go before them and show them the way in the wilderness, they calculate the members' contributions to the guide's fee by the amount of people as well. A guide averts danger to lives as well as money. Therefore, the calculation also takes into account the number of people in the group. However, they should not deviate in this matter from the usual practice of the donkey drivers.
Okay. So what they're saying over here, Art Scroll is saying, is you have two payments over here. You have a possibility of two payments, and you have a possibility of paying those payments in one of two ways. So let's start with the case, the first case, that they don't have a guide, and this guy holds them up. So we say that, and they agree to a ransom amount. They agree to a ransom amount. So so let's say that the ransom amount is let's say the ransom amount is 20,000, and there's 20 guys in this caravan. So how are we going to do it? Are we going to, if we do it according to nefashos, so that means that each guy will pay 1,000, and that'll give us 20,000. Or do we say, no, we're going to pay according to the amount of money that each guy is carrying? Let's say this guy is carrying 5,000, and this guy is carrying 10,000, and the other guys are carrying 20. So we're gonna get it according to the mammon. Okay. This guy's going to pay 10,000. This guy's going to pay 5,000, and they'll and the other 18 guys are going to scramble to come up with the other money, because none of these 18 guys have too much. Hopefully, it's going to be enough to get to 20,000. Okay. Oh, so now what's the din in the case where they do not have a guide? They pay according to the mammon, the Brisa says. So that guy that has 10,000, he's going to have to give 10,000. That guy says 5,000, he's going to have to give 5,000. The other guys are going to give whatever they got, and it's going to come up to 20,000. Then what's the reason why? The reason why is because the threat over here is regarded as being a threat to their mammon. It's a threat to their mammon, these guys. That's really what they're after. They're after they're not really interested in killing them. They just that's just their threat in order to get them to give them money. What they're really out for is the money. So like that, they pay according to how much money that each guy is carrying. So that's the fee moment and not according to nefashos. But now, if they have a guide, then the whole story changes. Now they all pay according to nefashos. They're all gonna pay equally, and they're going to pay both payments equally. They're going to pay the first. Let's start with the payment to the guide. The guide is going to get paid because he's protecting their nefashos. Rashi explained. If he doesn't do his job properly, it's sakanas nefashos. It's a sakana to the nefesh. So he's protecting the nefesh. So it goes. Each one is going to pay equally, because each nefesh is no more valuable than the other one. They're going to pay all equally, whatever the agreed upon fee was. But the question is, why now do we say that even the payment to the guys is going to be lefi nefashos now? Why should that change? That I didn't get from the explanation of the art scroll. We're saying that in the case that they have a guide, they'll pay the din of the ransom according they'll pay it equally, the fee nefashos, even though that without a guide they're going to pay the fee the moment. You have to say some type of a svara that since he's supposed to protect their nefashos, just like you see that he protects their nefashos, because if they get lost, so then it's sakanas nefashos. So it sounds like there's some type of a connection between he's responsible for their nefashos. So if so, he's also responsible for a gaius that comes along. And therefore that changes the story, and they're only going to pay the ransom lefi nefashos as opposed to lefi mammon. Not really so understandable.
Our time is up.
Okay, very interesting story. We'll have to continue.
Okay, well.
We got to go over it again.
All the best.
I have the same problem you have. I don't understand it.
Yeah, we didn't get too much help from Rashi, I don't think. I don't know why.
We didn't even get too much help from the art scroll.
The art scroll also didn't well, because they're relying on Rashi, and Rashi didn't give. They need Rashi too.
Yeah, there's some footnotes. Emir Hashem, I'll try and read the footnotes.
Maybe there's other meforshim that explain the case a little bit more than Rashi does. Right. That'll help us. Okay, very good.
Thank you, Rabbi. Have a good day.
All the best. Amen. You too, Lou.